infatuated with the in-between, the ups and downs, the curves and the rounds. I bring it to your city or your hometown. I go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the food 'cause the funkin' was good. Funkin' in the city, funkin' up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the food 'cause the funkin' was good. Funkin' in the city, funkin' up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. Now keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the food 'cause the funk was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the food 'cause the funk was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live.
And we're back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm West. This guy's David. And this guy back here is Matt Harmon. He's back.
He's back with a hat.
Back with a hat. We should all have a cowboy hat on. Where's my hat?
I really think everybody should start wearing them.
It suits you. It's good. It's good.
I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on the cowboy hat. All right. I'm gonna throw that out there. You know, I don't think I'm the right build for a cowboy hat.
You do have an incredibly small head.
Kim Howard says, "What's up, Davey?"
What up? Who?
And Kim Howard. What's up,
I
Davey?
think
I think she knows you.
Maybe.
And Laura Lyons
Maybe.
Black. Good evening, guys. So good evening, Laura.
Oh yeah, Kim. Okay, all right. Here's a story about Kim. All right,
Kim Howard. There's a story about
yeah,
Kim.
Howard. So here's a good story about Kim Howard. So This is the person that will
Okay.
post stuff on the absolute best stuff on Facebook that you absolutely cannot share.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good to know. Good to
So
know.
I'll tell you what, everybody should be friends with Kim Howard. You should look her up, be friends with Kim Howard, because you are going to get nonstop entertainment. Just nonstop entertainment. So
Just don't repost whatever she posts. Is what
yeah,
you're trying to say.
you might not want to share it. So I mean, I'm generally cognizant of what I post because I'm like, I kind of like what I do for a living. I want to keep that job, and with the way everything is these days, what you post online can cost you and all this. But I'm sitting there watching. I'm reading. I'm like, ooh, that's good. That's good. Or I'll send it directly. So if you guys get some oddball stuff from me from time to time that's direct in a message, it usually comes from her page. Absolutely
Good
great.
to know.
Absolutely great stuff. So
Good to know.
if you're looking for some real good hardcore entertainment value, that is the best bang for the buck right there. So
Kim
I
Howard,
will
we're
share that.
expecting
She's probably
big
over there
things.
going, "Oh my God, what have I done?"
Right.
And did she say Davy? Really?
Davey.
Davy. Okay, all right. See, I almost made a mistake the other day on a business email, and I've got a title block that's a
You almost
mile
signed it,
long,
Davey?
and I almost signed it Davy, and I'm like, ooh, if I'd have made that mistake, it would have been months trying to recover from that.
Oh, it would have stuck.
It would have stuck.
It totally would have stuck.
It would have stuck. And the group that I had turned it onto, I was shut the phone down here so that because I was doing all the invites and everything out of it. Okay. All right. So, what are you drinking tonight, my friend? What are you drinking?
I am still making my way through the Founders Oktoberfest I got. Delicious stuff. It's always Oktoberfest somewhere, especially in my heart. It's good stuff.
I've got 2 bottles left. I've got 2 bottles of Oktoberfest left over there. Just this, like little people bottles, like normal humans.
The normal human-sized bottles, but for you, they're like the little travel.
I did swing by a place today called Hot House Brewery.
Okay.
And I picked myself up a growler. Now this is a regular serving size of beer, just in case those people out there in the health industry need to know.
Right.
64 fluid ounces. That is a glass of beer.
That's a normal human-sized serving. Sure, I get it.
Normal human.
Yes,
size.
Officer. I had one beer. By that he means one
beer.
growler of beer.
So the name of this beer, had I not been there, because I tasted several beers from this place tonight, and this one's called Daylight in the Swamp.
What is that?
Well, I mean, immediately when you hear that name, you're like, oh, that's an IPA. No, it's like an amber lager, or so it's claimed to be. And they had a orange wheated beer down there, and it wasn't bad, but there was something about it that just didn't set well with my palate as I was trying them out. I tried out 5 or 6 different beers, trying to see which one I wanted to go with tonight. But to honor that beer, because this is a pretty good beer, I did like it.
Sure.
Well, I'm going to drink it out of the gold-rimmed Hofbrauhaus
Nice.
Hefeweizen glass. So that's my beer and my drinking equipment for this evening. Now,
good stuff.
Now I am half tempted to rock over there and grab a couple of those Oktoberfest because, I mean, it's Oktoberfest.
It's
Delicious.
yeah. Come on, if there's Oktoberfest around, you got to get some. Just saying.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you?
Well, I was hoping I would walk into this place and they'd be like, "Oh, hey, we've got Oktoberfest left." I was gonna be like, "Oh, give it to me."
Yeah, no,
but they did not.
No brewery ever has it left
I'm
over.
drinking a 25-gallon jug of Crown Royal.
That's a big bottle of Crown,
This
Matt.
is a huge bottle of Crown Royal.
I would say you have a drinking problem, but you're actually very good at it.
Yeah, well, it has a little IV attachment. I'm just hanging upside down and it'll drip into my veins.
That's good stuff.
I'm going to just sip it and enjoy it for right now.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I love Crown. Crown's great.
So yeah, I rocked down to my little cigar lounge here last night, and I took the bottle of Weller, and then I have the Weller
Cohiba.
Yeah. The Weller Cohiba. So I went down. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it upright. So I went down with the Weller Cohiba and the Weller Antique 107, and that's what I had last night. And I almost was like, oh, I could do that again here tonight, but I'm inside my house. And
womp womp. I'm at home with my family.
I was seriously hoping he'd talk about Weller again. I can't get enough of that. Maybe he'll smoke it.
Look. Did you make the other guys jealous? Those, because that's a pretty good combination.
Yeah, well, I know that Cowboy Bebop in the background there jacked one of the Weller cigars from you. So have you had that cigar yet, Matt?
Matt, did you smoke that cigar yet?
No, remember I gave it to
Oh, he gave it away. That's right. He gave it away. I gave it to him, then he gave it away.
I thought you wanted me to give it away as an apology.
What about that evening said that you should give away this
Brain damage. I could have sworn you said give it away.
This
$25 cigar? Here, give this away.
33.
$33 cigar. Here, give this away.
Are you serious? Those were $33?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Break into it. Get it back.
No. I absolutely agree with Matt Harmon on this. I agree. Not that there was something said that says, "Hey, I'm going to give this to you so you can give it away," but if he has something and he thinks it would bring somebody else a lot of joy or pleasure from having, I mean, good job, Matt.
It's true, Matt. You're a good person.
I gave it away on your behalf.
Oh,
Took the man's last Guinness 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was it was literally 20 years ago. Yes.
I do have a Guinness over there as well.
Yeah, is it the chocolate, the Hershey's Guinness?
So I have an
no, that was Yingling. That wasn't Guinness. That was Yingling.
Yeah, I had the Guinness, and I still have 5 because I had the one. I still have 5 of the the Yingling Hershey's chocolate stout. Because I'll tell you, if there was ever a dessert beer, that's it. Jiminy Christmas.
They sound good, but yeah, every time I see the bottle, I think Guinness. I don't think Yingling. So.
One. Yeah, well, no, it doesn't. It does not taste Guinness. You know how Guinness has it's a dark beer, but it's very light and kind of an airy beer. Very easy, smooth to drink.
Yep.
This one is like drinking chocolate lager. It literally is just a chocolate lager.
Interesting.
And
I still want to try
chocolate.
That. Yeah, I still want to try that.
I might throw them in the car. You'll have to recool them, but yeah. So you were telling me just a couple minutes ago that you have a LinkedIn news story to
I do. Let's go to LinkedIn. I got Morse code happening in the background there.
Sorry, I'll mute that.
You know, ding dongs popping up during your live stream there.
Oh, okay, all right. So I've seen this, and the parts that I have seen. There is so much less attention paid to this action right here than the 7,500 employees on another platform.
Right. So, well, it all kind of ties together because look, everybody's talking about 50% of the Twitter staff being laid off. Meta, the parent company of Facebook, just laid off 11,000 workers. That's a huge amount of people. So here's part of the problem. If you're in the tech industry, or if you want to break into the tech industry, the market is super saturated right now with very experienced, very talented people overall.
Yep.
And man, I can't believe how many massive layoffs are happening at big companies right now.
Yeah, and it's going to continue. You're going to see it. So there's it's crazy. Law firms are laying off junior and mid-range associates.
Yeah, totally.
In some very large numbers.
Mm-hmm.
The top 2 law firms in the country, I think the number 2 guys like $1.3 billion a year in revenue.
Yeah.
And that's basically people paying them to represent. They're not actually out there creating anything. People are paying them for this. So you're talking a couple major players. So I didn't get to see what the first the number one's revenue metrics were, but when you're talking the number 2 guys doing 1.2 billion and they're putting some pretty substantial layoffs in. Oh, hello.
Sorry.
I'm a little delayed because we're not sharing the screen to save bandwidth tonight. So I'm a little delayed. So I don't see anything until you all see it. So I'm replying much later than I would normally.
Right. So we do have our live studio audience with us here, and my daughter's holding the cat who looks very uncomfortable right now.
But that is the most calm cat ever. My Lord, that is just one chill cat.
Rescue cat. So she's
wait. I gotta do it. That is one cool cat.
That is one cool cat. And my son has his avocado cat.
Yeah.
Locke, where'd you get that avocado cat?
At the zoo.
Mexico.
Zoo.
Dude, you missed an opportunity to say Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So avocado cat from Mexico.
Well, from the zoo. It could be a Mexican cat from the zoo.
All right.
I don't know.
Bred in captivity.
How was school today, Locke?
Good.
Good. Catherine, how was your school today?
Good.
Good.
And
Great.
she is holding the actual cat.
The actual cat, and you have the actual avocado cat.
Mm.
Hey, did you guys have
Ah.
fun Halloween?
Yes. We got thousands of candies.
Lots of candies.
No,
Thousands.
no. They didn't get lots of candies. They got thousands of
Thousands
how's
of
it do it?
candies.
Thousands of candies. I like it.
Yeah.
Give me Locke. Give me a maniacal laugh. Give me a with a little tickle of the fingers like this.
You do an evil laughter.
Come on.
I don't want to. I want to turn Daddy all the way
Hey, Catherine,
around.
can you do an evil laugh?
No.
No. Now they're shy, of course.
All of a sudden, they're shy. Their candy's under attack. They've got to circle the wagons.
It's true. So my son will be taking over the show for me today.
No.
All right.
All right, Locke. So tell me what you think about with the top law firms in the country laying off massive amounts of associates.
You got a thought on that? He has no thought on that.
Most of our viewers probably have that same thought.
Exactly. Lawyers losing their jobs. Oh no!
Oh,
What are we ever
no.
gonna do?
Oh, so I've seen. I can't call out too much, but I've seen some contracts and stuff that have been written up, and I can tell that this whatever group
Hang on.
has a bunch of.
You guys have to go out.
Oh, the Care Bear's back there.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Well, you guys are having a conversation back there. The kids are each having their own conversation. We're having a conversation over here. It's a very popular place to be right now.
I'm telling you, I feel left out. I feel like there should be a disco ball over there,
It's-
roller rink with little girls and some cotton candy and popcorn and whatnot.
It's true. I could go for some popcorn right now. That sounds pretty good. So anyway, lawyers losing their jobs. How will the world go on?
Yeah, I know. So I mean, it just plays into some of these markets that have just been so heavily saturated for so long. Because everybody, they want to be this, and everybody was like, oh, it's all about computers. I mean, even when I was going through high school, I actually went to a trade school for the last 2 years and did electricity and did electrical trades and things of that nature. And everybody kept telling me, no, you're getting in the wrong field. You got to get into computers. You got to get into computers. You got to get computers. I'm like, where the hell are you going to plug them in, man? still got to plug that thing in. So instead of going the college route in that way, I went the trade route, and it hasn't been bad.
I think it's been paying off for you. Okay, you've
it's
done
been
okay.
all right. Yeah. So the idea that we we saturate these markets with real good quality and educated people, but just because it is on top right now doesn't mean in 5 years that market's not going to be completely overstaffed. And right now that there are markets that are wildly understaffed.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what I really think is interesting right now about all of these layoffs. So for those of you who haven't been keeping up, we were talking about Meta laying off 11,000 people. We were talking about Twitter laying off half its workforce. Here's why I think this is really interesting, right? Because you and I were talking a few days ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago, about people who work at certain companies not being able to come out with their own inventions or products or services because everything they do or create while they're with a specific company then belongs to that company. Exactly. Little arrows pointing right there.
Yeah. We were having a little conversation about this. So I actually reached out to the legal team and said, "Hey, I need clarification on that." And the legal team comes back and goes, "Well, we need to know what the subject matter of the book is." I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out.
Exactly.
I'm not giving you any more answers. I plead the fifth.
Exactly. So all these people who are being laid off from these massive tech companies are usually, at least a fair portion of them, are probably pretty tech savvy, probably pretty business savvy. Okay. Now you combine that with the fact we're in a down market, a massively down market. Remember the last time we were in a massively down market, which was the Great Recession of 2008. What came out about 2 years after 2008? Some massive companies. Think about the people who aren't now required to give at least partial ownership to Twitter and Facebook, who now have the freedom to make that product or service or thing that they always wanted to do. Guess what? Now they can do it. I'll bet.
I mean, it also, from the legal standpoint, they also got to look. Just don't watch our show and then run out and start a business. Check your non-compete stuff too.
Well, that's true. But just imagine, all it's going to take to change the world in fields that we can't even imagine right now is somebody sitting in their garage or their basement or, their mom's spare bedroom with a little bit of free time on their hands and some technical expertise. Dude, I'm telling you, 5 to 10 years from now, the world will look very different because of things that are being invented right now.
Right now, before your very eyes.
David, what's the difference between being laid off and being fired? I would say a layoff is part of a mass removal from a company versus a firing, which is like a one-off. Probably that'd be my guess. I don't know.
Yeah, to me, and I get it could be something. There's a definitive answer, but to me, is you're fired for typically a cause. Whenever you're laid off, it could be a reduction in force, reduction in staff. It could be, hey, your position's no longer. I don't need you to twist the lid on the toothpaste anymore. That's another movie reference if everybody can get that. So we're going to build a robot and put it in there. So now we don't need you. It's a layoff, not necessarily fired. If I ever fired somebody, it's because they freaking deserved it.
You have the ability to come back.
Yeah, a layoff is I would say a layoff is probably something that has nothing to do with your performance.
Right.
The role is just no longer available. Right.
Yeah.
There you go. So there's
wait. There's a video. We can't play it. It's from a Disney movie called The Emperor's New Groove. They're talking about. He's like, oh, okay. That's an embarrassment to yourself, son.
It's a really good movie.
I don't know.
So
I like David Spade, but as a lead character,
fan, no. I'm not the biggest David Spade fan, but I will I'll turn off this show and go watch freaking Emperor's New Groove right now. I mean, it probably is one of the best.
But it's not good animation. It's not Disney's best animation.
Well, it was in the 90s.
Well, they did better work before.
No, it was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It was a great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, how are you going to say it if you haven't seen it?
Look, I hate lots of things I haven't tried before, okay? Give me a break.
Yeah.
All right, fair point. I'll give it a shot.
So, yeah, I mean, it's so for all the people that are, I know there's, 11,000, so that's 8,500 new workers that are out there on the
just
market.
From those two companies.
And you guys are watching us, and all the lawyers from the firms are watching us tonight. Check your non-compete clauses and then go for it.
But again, lawyers not having jobs. It was funny, actually. I'm not going to mention names or mention the sources, but when I was reading the article about Meta being having let go of 11,000 people, one of the commenters on this article was from a technical recruiter from Meta, and her work, her title in LinkedIn is open to work. So when a recruiter is out of work, what do? When a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Who knows? It's a mystery. It's a mystery of the universe.
So I have something whenever you have a pause.
Oh, he has something. You have something.
Oh, well, you know what? I say we pause.
Let's pause for you something.
So the photo I showed you earlier, that's okay?
And we're back.
Because I can do it different.
Why do you ask?
Well,
what are you doing?
So I want to compliment. I had a photo shoot.
Okay.
Where it was a gymnast dancing with fabric, and we had the fans blowing on the fabric. Fabric's moving, she's moving. This was the single best model I've ever worked with. Professional. She danced for 3 hours with this fabric. 3 hours of hard dancing with this fabric. And she just kept going. She was an absolute trooper. Her name is Zylan. So I wanted to send out a compliment to Zylan. And here, there's nothing you can't show on that one.
I'm worried because I can hear, but the visual delay is substantial.
Yeah. So Zylan, wherever you are, you've been a great model, and Matt Harmon appreciates it.
She's an animation major. I believe she's a junior, but animation major.
She looks like a ninja in training.
Yeah,
she has good musculature.
Amazing.
Good musculature.
Yeah.
She exercises.
And I feel like she could throw a ninja star really good.
I think the photographer has a lot to do with this as well.
Well, look. when you have a great model, the photographer is basically just there for
Really
window
are.
dressing.
Really just ancillary.
It's true. You're not really necessary to
No,
the
a
process,
robot
Matt.
could have done that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes.
You're giving yourself too much credit, Matt.
Really am. So, Zylan, thank you. Great job.
Zylan, great job. We're very proud. But yeah, honestly, it's when you get a good model, it makes all the difference in the world.
It
So
really does.
cool. All right. Well, we actually do have a topic for this evening.
And I would like to point out the fact that this is a standard back to old school West 25 billion point two agenda.
There are only nine points here. I'm sorry, 8
With how many subpoints?
Eight points here, and each one has a maximum of 3 bullet points below it. So
learn more about your client. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
well, yeah, but those are just like quick headlines you can just fly through.
Yeah, you're fine.
We could fly through these if we actually tried.
We're gonna get through this. Our intro dialogue was only 27 minutes. It's cool. We got this.
Look, if we're only 27 minutes in to saying
That's
hello,
actually an
we're
earlier
actually doing
start
pretty
than
good. We're doing well.
Yeah, that is an earlier start to our main topic than normal.
Usually we're an hour in. Well, we do have a topic today.
Yeah, we do have a topic tonight. Well, we're drunk now, so it doesn't matter. So 8 skills that every business owner not should, but must learn.
Well, it's true, right? Because a lot of people think, look, I know my product or I know my service or I know this one thing that I really love or I really want to do. And people think wrongly that that's all they need. You know what? They're passionate about their product. They're passionate about their service. And that's all they need. Not true. Not true.
So I've experienced this and watched it from a distance in the life safety industry, where I've had technicians who thought, hey, I'm the guy who actually knows how to turn the screwdriver and punch the keyboards to do the beep, 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 beep. And so I can go off on my own and I can charge, $90 an hour, and all of that's mine instead of the measly, $25 or $30 an hour that I'm making.
Right.
And I'm sitting there going, best of luck to you. There's a lot more to business than just that part of it. And that's one of the things that that these guys typically forget. And for those of you who are thinking about it and may have that kind of a mentality, I'm not saying don't go for it. I'm saying absolutely go for it. But there's some more to this you may really want to pay attention to.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, these things we're going to run through, we're not saying this stuff to discourage anyone or make someone stop their forward momentum on building or growing a business. We're just saying that there's a lot that you need to consider, at least get a high level understanding of these things. Even if you don't have to be an expert in these things, but just get enough of an understanding to where you know what you previously didn't know. Like, you need to know certain skills exist, certain aspects of business exist, other than just your one narrow role in it. And having a product or service is a very narrow role in the overall business.
Yeah.
So, the number one thing on this list, rather, is adaptability. And this is actually, I think it's the most important on the list, frankly. So I probably should have ended with this one. But adaptability is number one. And it might seem obvious if you don't really think about it, but when you really dig down to what adaptability really means, especially in business, it's so important. Okay, just look at what happened in 2020. Look at how many businesses couldn't adapt. Many businesses.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm like, wow, I would have used like Kodak or
or
Xerox.
Well, I was trying to think of a recent
Sony,
example.
But some of the businesses in 2020. So even here goes Dave on one of his tangents again. No, actually, so I've had companies that I help with right now. I have companies that are still going, well, Dave, we kind of battened down the hatches. We didn't do a lot. 2020 came down, and we just really wanted to secure ourselves, and we just we laid off part of the workforce. We did this, and that's why the numbers are all down. But then I've got the other side of that coin who said, when 2020 hit, and I watched somebody else buckle down and hunker down, I knew the gates were wide open, and they're out there making money fist over hand. Hand over fist?
Hand over
fist. Fist in hand? Fist over
hoof and mouth.
They're making lots of money.
Lots of money. And you're totally right. But there's so many examples from the very seemingly simple. Like, I was at a very large company who didn't have curbside pickup. Well, guess what? In 2020, they were granted they were granted by the powers that be, not to get political or anything, the status of essential. So they got to stay open during the entire thing, but they had no curbside pickup, and the infrastructure for that's actually pretty complex. We actually turned the entire process around in like 2 weeks to actually have curbside pickup available.
And in a major, and that's see, some people might be like 2 weeks. That's not very fast.
With all
once
the
you get to a
right,
once you get to a business of a certain scale,
right,
2 weeks is a second.
It is
get something, especially of that scale, flipped around. It really impressed me because he told me about this before, about flipping this around, and in the time frame that he did it, I'm just there going, oh my Lord, how do you get a Fortune 500 company to flip and pivot that fast?
Right. And there are other examples. There's an example that I love, and I wish I was able to find this to bring up an article on it. There was a pizza shop in New York City pizza shop, okay, that, guess what? A lot of restaurants weren't essential. Okay, and a lot of people weren't going out for a slice of pizza in the middle of a pandemic. We can actually say that word now, so thank goodness. But so their pizza business was really, really struggling. But guess what? One thing the world desperately needed, especially at the beginning of the whole thing, was PPE, personal protection equipment. But they had all these ovens. What are they going to do? They ordered. Now, they probably wouldn't stand up to the strict codes that we should be adhering to, but at the time nobody cared. They ordered a bunch of PVC, the plastic, clear plastic for the masks, and they built molds for these things. They cut the plastic to shape. They put it in the mold so when they put it in the oven, it would adhere to this shape for these masks. And they actually made face shields out of this pizza restaurant, and they actually made more money making face shields than they did selling pizza. That's a pivot, and it takes that kind of creativity and that kind of adaptability to when hard times hit, you got to be able to make your changes. David, you and I know of some restaurants, we're not going to mention any names, who we told very early on they need to start doing X, Y, and Z if they want to survive this thing. Guess what didn't happen? They didn't adapt.
Z.
They didn't adapt. They made poor choices the entire time, and they're no longer in business now.
Yeah. And I won't go any further. It's sad. They took the beer. They took all the beer taps out of that place. That place had so many beer taps. It was such a great place. Now, but now it's a bourbon bar. So
I'm not sure what it is now. I drive past there all the time. Bourbon.
It's a bourbon bar. You got to go. Bourbon.
Well, the sign doesn't say anything about bourbon. Driving past, you have no idea
it's a bourbon bar.
Well,
it says like Southern Kitchen thing. It's like a Southern Kitchen thing. That's the food. As far as the drink goes, it's all bourbon. It's bourbon.
So you're telling me I need to go and talk to them about their not just their bourbon, but their marketing, because it's terrible.
Yeah. A Southern Kitchen joint in Central Ohio, not going to attract a lot of attention.
Well, not with the signage.
Urban joint that carries fried chicken on biscuits. Now I'm interested.
Look, the branding of the restaurant that was there before was fantastic.
It was. And that should be open now. We should be checking into that to make sure, because if we can buy it, we should.
I know. It was actually pretty good. But adaptability is what we're saying. So that's the number one thing on this list that you need if you're going to have, and not just anticipating for a pandemic, but look, let's say your business just runs into a hiccup. You have a problem. There's a problem with your product or service. Let's say you put out a new fizzy drink that you want to go and market to X, Y, and Z customers. Well, let's say the FDA comes back and says, you can't have that ingredient. You can't just say, crap, it's terrible. That provides the entire flavor profile. No, you go back, you reformulate, you put it back out, and you try again. Adaptability is what you need. If you can't adapt, if you can't change and roll with the punches, you're out of business already.
Why don't you just go ahead and make it anyway, and the heck with the FDA?
That's also another idea. I never said it was a good idea. It's another idea. It is an idea.
Yeah, I'm going to go with bad idea. It's a bad idea.
So don't. So
he didn't say it was a good idea, but I'm going to say it's a bad idea.
Look, you let them tell you one thing once, you're indentured servitude now. You got to stand on your own. It's the power.
It's true. Fight the power of the FDA. Remember that, kids.
Don't do that.
So number two thing on this list of things that you must learn as a business owner is communication. So again, a lot of these are going to seem obvious until you think about what they actually mean in the context of starting or running a business, okay? So communication, primarily with your customers, but also with your employees, with your peers in the industry. Digital media and social media have massively changed our capability to communicate, especially with our customers. However, they actually made things a lot harder in certain ways also, because we become spoiled to this level of communication. Remember a couple decades ago when this didn't exist, none of this existed. This isn't how any of it worked. If you wanted to find a company's phone number, you had to look it up in the phone book. If it wasn't in the phone book, you're out of luck. Now
that's why there's so many AAA heating and cooling and 1A
Right.
heating and cooling, because everybody wanted to be at the front of the yellow pages.
That's it. That's exactly it. That's exactly
When I see them now, I see companies that form now, and they're like, we're A1 or 1A XYZ company.
Mhm.
I'm like, dude, that's stupid. Why are you doing that? Well, that's how you get found first. Like that's.
Are you sure that's how it works
in the mid 1900s? Yes, but nowadays that's not how it goes. The search engines are geographic, and they go out based upon your IP's actual address. So where you're located. So
Right.
sometimes you'll see, hey Matt, this is a tangent. Sometimes you'll punch in a search number, and you might get the results for a place that's nowhere near you
Mm-hmm.
as it's spidering out, because your IP address that you're temporarily on, because most of them are dynamic IPs, it'll put you in another place and give you the search results from that area. So it's a little tidbit of information for you.
The more you know. We need this. We need the graphic that goes across there.
So is this recession or this whatever we're going through going to be done in 3 years? Because I need it done in 3 years. Because that's when I'm getting the job.
I have no comment.
It needs to be done in 3 years.
Okay, we'll push that up the ladder and see how it goes. Good to know. Okay.
I'm gonna
Good
need you
to
to fill out. I'm gonna need you to fill out a request form.
Fill out whatever forms you need. I just want it done.
No. I don't fill out the forms. You got to fill out the form. I will witness the signature of that form for you. But that's all I can do.
Oh, for God's sake.
He goes to art school. He doesn't know what that means.
Welcome to business. We can't actually do anything, but we'll have you do some stuff to make you feel good about it.
Business management 101. Okay. So communication
Okay.
was number 2. So again, it actually made things a lot harder because we become spoiled to this level of communication through social media, through email, through just like you said, Google searches. So you actually need to become a lot more savvy with how you communicate, with communicating more often. Long gone are the days to where you could put an ad out, once a month. No, you need to have content out there all the time, and that is part of your communication strategy, which is advertising, marketing, regular updates on social media. These are things that you need. So even if you're not super savvy with these communication types, it's
there are companies out there that can help you,
and there are companies out there that can help you. Give us a call, drop a message, and we can help you out with that.
We'll put you in touch with a absolute wonderful new company that we found called Remarket.
Yeah, there
Remarket
you go.
Media.
That's the
Remarket
one.
Media. That's the one.
I've heard good things about those guys.
I'm hearing great things about those guys, especially the one. He's freaking awesome.
Why? Thank you.
The other guy's got a small head, apparently.
Yeah, he would never fit into a cowboy hat, is what it
Never
is.
fit a cowboy hat.
No, it's true. It's true.
Asshole.
So number 1 is adaptability. Number 2 was communication.
Yeah. Being able to pivot and then tell people that you pivoted is very important.
Exactly. Number 3 is creativity. So
to be honest, I think that is probably one of my favorites, the creativity aspect of it.
Right. So
wait, I've got a challenge. I don't have a piece of paper to write it down here, but I have an idea that Brother Carnahan here is going to use a specific phrase during this thing. And if he does, I'm going to drink beer and make noise. But to be honest, you guys won't know the difference because that's what I do normally.
I was going to say, how's that any different? We won't know if I said the phrase or not. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. The phrase of pays.
All right. So I just going into this, I have no idea what phrase you're talking about.
No idea.
But
we're talking about creativity in your business.
So here's the thing. No matter what your product or service is, to make your product or service stand out from your competition, you need to get noticed. You need to get the attention of your specific audience. Okay? Now I'm really paranoid about what I'm saying here because I know David's actually listening. So, but to get that attention, here's the thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with just the lowest price. Okay, if you have the lowest price, you're in a race to the bottom. And guess what, David? In the race to the bottom, who wins?
Nobody wins.
Exactly.
And I got to tell you that, hey, I literally just clicked the button and I can see all the comments now. But I have made this statement to many, many, many people who own companies, people who manage, $30 million a year companies, people who manage more than that size companies, and to the guy who's very small. And, I talk to them as they're going, hey, can we do this? But can I maybe get a discount? I'm like, literally the very last thing that I'm ever going to talk about is price.
Yeah.
I want them to be so sold on it. And I've done this. So I know it can be successful. I know it's very successful in protecting your margin, which you have to do. And, still getting clients. So I am not the cheapest guy. I am straight up just not. You don't come to me to get the best price. You're going to come to me to get the best quality, service, all of the top-notch stuff. That's what you're getting from me. If you want to race to the bottom, I will gladly give you the number to somebody who will absolutely take that baton and run it down to the very last penny.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be this guy.
That's interesting though, because David's business is fire suppression. One of the things you're not going to want to cheap out on.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's
You'd be surprised where people try and cut budgets though.
How many years has my building not burnt down? Just break that down to your daily cost. So a nickel or $5 a day, so my building doesn't burn down.
Right.
If you don't go with David, there's a good chance your building will burn down.
I have no comment there, but
yeah. I mean, it's just for future, for everybody. I don't go around burning down buildings who don't go.
That's how David gets the business.
So that's kind of what he was insinuating there. But no. The idea basically is, in the world that I'm in, the life safety world that I'm in, is these things are very important. Very, very, it's life safety. Damn it. I mean, it's what we do matters. You don't know it and you're not supposed to know it, but every time you walk into a building, there's a lot of thought going into how many square foot the entrance is, how many exits are on that, or how big the exit is, how many people are calculated to go through it, where's the placement of this wall and that wall, how many steps, how deep is that step, how wide is it? I mean, there's all these things that you walk through and you just flat take for granted. There are teams and teams and teams of people who do all of this stuff and continue to do research to make sure that when you walk into a building, you're safe. So all of that being said, you bet your ass, man, those people try to cheap out on every single thing that they can. And they do it often with us. And I don't play. It's not the market that I play in.
It's true. So the point is, back to creativity.
Sometimes you got to get creative. Yes.
You need to get creative to grab your customers' attention, because you don't get it through having the lowest prices. You don't get your ideal customers through having the lowest prices. And believe it or not,
if your avatar is that market, then we can talk another day.
Yeah, maybe within reason. And I'll give you some examples why that's not always true either. But it's and believe it or not, it's not even always how to get your customers' attention isn't even always through having a better product. Which is counterintuitive. So a lot of people think, look, my product is superior and my price is lower. Of course people are going to buy from me. Guess what? In both cases, you're wrong. In both cases, you're wrong. And I'll tell you why. The as seen on TV garbage, okay? As seen on TV garbage. Most of it you can get at a lower price elsewhere, but you don't. You buy the as seen on TV garbage because you saw it on TV. They had better marketing. They had better advertising. They had better creative that grabbed your attention and brought you in. And that's where you bought it from.
I like the guy who wore the suit with the question marks. I mean, I never bought anything from him, but I liked it.
The Riddler. He was going to murder you. He's a Batman villain.
Well, there is that.
That's, yeah.
I have a good example of that.
What's an example?
So, when I sold food for a major wholesale food distributor, right? I went to this local restaurant that sold gyros. And they sold outstanding gyros. Now, the gyro cones that they were using were of just an insanely high quality the best gyro cone you can get, which if you're selling those in Chicago, you need them. You need that brand in Chicago because that's what people want.
Okay.
In Columbus, Ohio, nobody knows the difference unless you're from Chicago. And even then, the tzatziki sauce is making up the bulk of the flavor. Right?
Okay.
So I talked them into, and I had to do 7 free cones, which the manufacturer had given me, but it was a step down from what they were using. And my point was, nobody will know the difference because these are still outstanding cones. They're really good. They're just not as good as what you're using. And you know what? They actually got compliments on the cones.
Oh, there you go. So
they were able to meet their profit margin. Nobody knew the difference. And it was still, it wasn't like it was all cornmeal or anything. It was an outstanding Euro cone. Very good. But it wasn't, they didn't need that incredibly expensive cone for the Columbus market. They just didn't.
Okay. Yeah. No, I do love Euros.
Yeah, but you got to know what product to use for your geographical customer base.
Right. So this actually kind of comes down to what the next point, though, is you need to. So, David, you and I have talked about your avatar. So you need to understand who your customer is. You need to understand their needs, wants, desires, all of this stuff. And once you understand who your customer actually is, you can then learn how to, guess what? Going back to number 2, how to communicate with them.
Yep.
Right. And part of that means understanding what aesthetics they're into, what catches their eye, what wording can you use to catch their eye. And
exactly. You might get lost in the din. So sometimes you can't just do the same old things.
Mm-hmm. Right. So creativity. That's why creativity is number 3. So again, number 1 was adaptability. Number 2 is communication. Number 3 was creativity. Number 4 is...
He got away with it, guys. I even tried to set his ass up on that last statement.
I don't know what you were trying to get me to say.
Think outside the box.
Oh, no. Of course not.
Because, I hate that freaking saying.
David, you know that I never think outside the box.
You shouldn't think outside the box. That's the reason we built boxes. There's numbers 0.1. Okay, we're gonna go back in time. Don't think outside the box.
I gotta say, thinking outside the box has not always served me the best.
In your case, I can see that.
There's a lot of
it shouldn't.
For a reason.
Thinking outside the box should not serve anyone ever at all. Period.
Times where like the Euro thing.
No.
Outside the box.
No. That should have been in the box to begin with.
That was outside the box, Mr. Know-It-All.
David, what
is in the box?
Well, so that's David's point. So you actually have a pretty good point, David. Look, anything that's inside the box is inside the box for a reason. Anything that's outside the box that works should have been in the box in the first place.
Should have been in the box. Hey, it's like, oh, hey, we need you to think outside the box. I want to change these Euro cones out. Here, have some ice. That's outside the box. And it belongs outside the box. It's got no place in the conversation. Yeah, Leave it outside the box.
Yeah, he made a comment about something that wouldn't work as outside the box because it's outside the box for a reason because it doesn't work. But you actually sort of being creative with how you dealt with the customer to get this other product that would be better for them and better sales margin for you. That's inside the box because it should have been inside the box all along.
Exactly.
See, that's basically just you doing your job.
Well, everybody was
so the one time that Matt did his job, it actually worked out pretty well.
3 times I did my job.
Well, yeah, and he was getting ready to say, Matt, I want you to go ahead and finish that statement. That everybody telling you that's great outside of the box thinking?
Yes.
Yeah, all those people need slapped.
Buzzword back then. Man, you're outside.
It is still today.
It's still a buzzword.
It's still today, and it just, hey, come on, guys. When you think outside the box, I'm like, dude.
So in other words, you need to have a new idea.
Yeah, you need to actually do your research about your avatar and be able to market creatively to them and communicate it properly and then adapt that message to what you need. All of that stuff is in the effing box.
David, you and I need to do a show on the box and staying
and how to
box.
Properly stack it. Yeah, how to properly. If you stock your box properly, there's absolutely no reason to go outside the box. If the stuff is outside the box, it should not be serving you.
There you go.
Well,
damn box.
Outside the box thinking, Dave.
That's true, David.
Maybe everyone else thinks outside the box. Maybe you're wrong this time.
See?
Dun dun dun.
Oh,
Matt,
David.
you know that I'm a very intelligent person. If I were wrong, don't you think I would know it?
That's a good point. You probably would know. Yeah, you'd be like, I was wrong.
Hey, I am wrong more than anybody else I know.
Only because
I am wrong.
Only because I can't say per capita, the CPM on how many things you actually say versus how many you're wrong. Yeah, I mean
Yes.
you're going to be right and wrong more than most people because you're just saying a lot more.
Yes. I have an idea. Hey, I got an idea for you. That's all there is to it. I'm ready to go for you. So I'm still thinking there is one person who's got me a little stumped, and I talked to you guys about her a couple times. Rick's wife, who's doing the makeup stuff, because it's not in my wheelhouse. Now I've been watching her on her Facebook stuff and all the stuff she's doing, and I'm like, I honestly don't know if I've got something more to share for her, but I'm continuing to watch. I'm started looking at other things, other people who are being successful in this. Like, all right, who's their market? Who are they talking to? And doing stuff, because she asked us to kind of reach out to her. And I'm trying to do a little bit of market research so that when we actually get a chance to talk to her, we can bring her reasonable and equitable things that can be measured on their success.
Yeah, that's so basically you want to research beauty influencers, probably on Instagram and TikTok.
I stay off of Instagram, and I don't even have TikTok.
Well, see, that's your problem right there.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm all right.
She's,
I'm not.
So,
sometimes you know what?
So she's probably not your target.
She is not my target. But I mean, I love her to death. She's a freaking sweetheart. So if I can help her, I will.
There you go.
Even if that means I can get you started, but we need to find you somebody else who knows more about this than I do. But if you want to sell beer, I'm your guy.
Well, so David, what you need to do is you need to go to one of these makeup places, get a bunch of makeup. You need to go home, sit in front of a mirror, and just test out everything that she's doing. Get the nice smoky eyes and the.
Oh, what was the movie?
You can really pull it off.
What was that movie? What Women Want.
So there you go. Look, if Mel Gibson
right?
can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of makeovers. I do not look good in makeup.
No, you'd be a terribly ugly woman.
I look like an ugly man with makeup.
Fair point. Yeah. Fair point.
I mean, the beard really just throws it off.
Look. Yeah,
all right.
You're right.
So
Fair
good.
point.
We've taken a good break, and we've been very inefficient with our time here.
Very inefficient.
In between this, because this one right here, I am going to do my best. I'm going to give myself 2 times of interruptions for no more than 10 seconds. Otherwise, I hate this idea.
Number 4 is efficiency. And like it or not, you need to be efficient, both with your time and your resources. Whether you like it or not. No. It's true. So look, here's the thing.
You need to not be wasteful.
Well, that's a part of efficiency.
Don't be wasteful.
That's plays into efficiency, David.
It does, but the hunt for efficiency, when you're dealing with humans who are effectively inefficient.
Well, so I know that you have a problem with I know you have a problem with HR in general. I'm not talking about human resources. But here's the thing. But here's the thing. Look, of course, this guy says down with HR. But look, no, here's the thing. Look, if you're starting a business and you wake up, first thing you do, you check your email, you go on YouTube, watch a couple videos, you scroll through Instagram for a while. You tell yourself you're doing some market research because you go and you watch some Instagram reels, and by then you're a little hungry, so you get a little breakfast and you have a cup of coffee, and before you know it, it's noon and you haven't done anything yet. Not very efficient, or
wasteful.
You have a budget, It's all wasteful. Lack of efficiency is waste, David. That's what we're trying to say.
I get that, but the hunt for zero waste and 100% efficiency is a waste of time in and of itself, and should be.
No. Well, no, David.
Yes, it is.
Hang on, David. You can't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Okay.
I'm throwing out all the babies, all the bathwater. I'm taking a shower. Piss off.
No, David. You need efficiencies. Now, that doesn't mean cutting corners or constantly hunting for efficiencies or saying this doesn't work because it's not optimal efficiency. No, David. Do you have any sort of time management that you set yourself? That's an efficiency.
Well, no, not necessarily. I just do my job.
Right. You get up, you do your job. That's efficient.
Yeah.
David, here's what you don't understand, David. To mere mortals like myself, or to Matt Harmon, or to Joe Blow walking down the street there, some of us actually have to. He
does on his own time, his own business.
Some of us actually have to convince ourselves to focus. Some of us actually have to rely on efficiencies to sit down and get through a grueling, kick you in the ass day. Not everybody can just go, I'm just going to do my job and it's it. No, that's not how normal human beings work, David. We need efficiency in our lives.
So I'll do my work. And if I'm like, oh, I'm feeling peckish, I'll go grab a snack.
Yeah, I get that. I'm not.
Here, do
and
some
again,
work.
you're,
Like,
you're taking.
crap.
So you have bad associations with the word efficiency, is what I'm hearing. You've had poor managers. You have had poor managers.
Visual and actual managers and managers above them and other teams that aren't actually managers, but all they do is look for ways to be more efficient.
Right.
And I've had global leaders from
David,
massive companies that with other companies
you've been
more efficient.
You've been hurt in the past. You're a little jaded. You've been hurt. And I'm sorry that happened to you. I apologize that you've been hurt.
Can you point on this doll where they hurt you?
Yes, exactly. Where did they touch you, David? I'm sorry that happened to you. But here's the thing. All things in moderation, including efficiencies, but you need efficiencies, David. You need efficiencies.
Yeah, you're kind of a fart in the frying pan, Dave.
Well, that's what I call him. That's actually on his business card.
A what?
David Leffingwell, a fart in the frying pan. I'm not sure what it means, but I like it.
I mean, I kind of like it too. But I'm Googling it.
He's Googling. By the way, if you're on your office computer, people, do not Google fart in frying pan.
I literally typed fart in it, and it auto-populated the rest.
Fart in a fryer pan came up?
Yeah, like a fart in a frying pan.
Yeah, it's a Pennsylvania thing.
I've literally never heard that phrase. I thought you made that up.
My first mother-in-law used to call me a fart in a frying pan.
Pardon me, unpredictable, changeable, indecisive.
Well, you're kind of ADD.
Not really, but yeah. Rapidly changes one's plans from one option to another. Totally unrelated one. All right, fuck you.
Actually,
and
right.
your
This
frying.
is actually pretty accurate. You're right. You are a fart in the frying pan, David. Wow.
I've never seen anybody need Ritalin more than him.
So, David, efficiencies. If you had efficiencies in your life, you would no longer be a fart in a frying pan.
I am very efficient.
All right, so we're moving on. David doesn't like efficiencies. David doesn't like. We're being inefficient about talking about efficiencies because David doesn't like them.
Which is what I'm driving home.
So normal human beings out there watching and listening, you need efficiencies in your life. You need to hunt for them. Don't kill yourself trying to be ultra efficient. But look, time management is efficiency. Okay, we all need to deal with it. Schedules, planning, a calendar is efficient.
All right.
You need it.
I do have some efficiencies.
Exactly.
My calendar is my rule.
That's and look, that's efficient, isn't it?
I don't like it when people put stuff on my calendar though.
That's
I
get
on the
that.
calendar and then I'm gonna call. Hey, are you coming to this meeting? What meeting are you talking about? Oh, I'll put it on your calendar. Oh, I'm gonna slap you.
That's true. I don't like when people put things on my calendar and don't tell me about it. Fair point.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 4 was efficiency.
It's not efficient.
Number 5 is efficient if you use it correctly, which is marketing. Marketing.
All right. Now we're back to things I can agree with. All right.
Sales are two different things.
We've made it over the hump,
true.
as it were.
So I know I'm a little biased on this one because I'm in marketing, but everybody who has any business, product, or service, or wants to grow their business, product, or service, you need to at least understand that marketing exists and you need to do it.
You do. You absolutely. There is not one business out there, and I've met tons of people who goes, well, we just rely on person to person or mouth to mouth.
You mean word of mouth?
I was wondering
it's not that kind of business, David. It's not that kind of business.
I was wondering if you got that reference. That's an internal joke for a very select few people.
For those of you who know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. But yeah, the word of mouth, and I hear people go through that, and when they say that, I'm like, that's nice. That's the best kind of marketing. Yeah, that's really good for you, man. That shows you dumbass.
I'm glad that's working out for you. Is my answer to that.
I'm glad that's working out for you. I'm out. If you think that's the best thing to do, then great. You've got the cap where you think that's good business. You're not looking to grow. You're not looking to expand. That means you're where you want to be. And if that's where you are, that's great. I've got
Look,
nothing but mad props for you.
And you and I have known people who have businesses, and they're like, yeah, I'm happy where I'm at. I don't really want to get too big. And we're like, all right, look, if you're happy, that's cool. That's exactly where you want to be. And so I hear that surprisingly more often than I thought that I ever would, because I can't imagine having a business and not wanting to grow it. But
Yeah.
Far from me to say.
I'm the same way. I'm like, ooh, we could do this. Yeah, I used to have a boss who said, I only want to be as big as the people that I can manage. And he wanted to have a direct contact with every person.
Right.
Me, I've got a completely different style. It's like, I don't even want to know their damn names. I want to know their names, but I don't need the details of every day of what they do. I don't need to know if they're 15 minutes late for work. I need to know if they've quit their job and left for 5 days. Then I'm interested.
Right. Exactly. When I think of a business, I think of how big can you possibly grow that business to where you never have to work again in your life when you eventually retire or sell the place.
So I'm rewatching the series Suits right now. And I absolutely love the show. It is a really good show, in my opinion. But there's one scene today that got me. And this kid talking and goes, shouldn't you be doing some work? He goes, my dear lad, if I have to work, I'm not doing my job. And I'm like, that guy right there gets it.
I have worked for a company where the president of the division was basically that guy. His job as the president was to schmooze.
Yep.
And
that's what we do.
He did his job well. I'll say that. Yeah. He did his job well.
That's what we do. I mean, there's certain ones of us out there that we, our main job is to just kind of be there. And, we do that job well. If I have to work, I'm not doing my job.
That has never been my job. I would be terribly uncomfortable not actually doing stuff.
But that's the thing, is all those actions that you do, that creates all the work underneath of it.
You're right.
That's what creates all that stuff. Yeah. So, and keeps the things coming in.
You're right.
So
you're right. There's an argument to be made there. So
that is also a style or a type of marketing of how you're attracting and how you're bringing that business in.
So we're not going to go into all the details about marketing. We have 100 other shows on that, literally over 100 other shows on that. But you need to understand the difference now between marketing, sales, and advertising, okay? So here's the difference in a nutshell between marketing and advertising. Okay, picture this, at a bar. These three guys at a bar, go figure. But you're at a bar, okay? And you see a pretty girl across the bar. You go up and talk to her. You say, hey, guess what? I'm super rich. You want a drink? That is marketing. Okay, now, let's say you're at the same bar. You see a pretty girl down the other side of the bar. You send your friend down to say, hey, see that guy down there? He's super rich. You should go up and talk to him. He'll buy you a drink. That's advertising. Sales, we won't go into because that's illegal in Ohio.
Did you plan that? Did you plan that joke? Tell me you planned that joke.
A little bit. You like it?
All right.
Is that a good one?
I like it. I really like it. Just in case you guys are wondering, I'm the sales guy. Matt Harmon in the background. He's the photographer salesman.
He was in sales. He doesn't sell photographers, but he was actually in sales. Now he's a photographer.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you, Matt?
Yes.
All right.
You see, Matt, what you don't understand is,
Matt, you are a great photographer. I'll give you that.
But not financially successful.
None of the best artists were.
Oh, there we go.
You're a starving.
Matt did my wedding photography.
He did, and they were great photos.
It was really good.
Yeah, I've seen his work is actually.
I live in central New York. I'm coming over. It'll have to be in the spring when we can get unthawed. But my son's senior pictures, he's doing them.
Yeah.
I just did some senior pictures out in Pittsburgh.
There you go.
Yep, they were good.
What's the name of your photography business?
Little Red Hen Photography.
Little Red Hen Photography. What's your website?
Oh shit, I forget.
Is it littleredhenphotography.com?
No, it's the Adobe portfolio.
Oh, what happened to your URL?
Oh, I have never actually set it up.
Oh, I thought you did. Well, I'm sorry I asked then.
Use the website off of Adobe.
Oh, well then I'm sorry I asked. Okay. Well then never mind. Google Little Red Hen Photography. And you might find Matt Harmon. We don't know yet.
I am copying and pasting a link to the Facebook. Wait. Matt, you are not the only Little Red Hen Photography.
Ooh.
Get the hell out of here. Really?
Snap.
There's one in England, isn't there?
Let's see here. It's US, area code 707.
Well, I'll be indicting them on indictments.
Look, All right. Another show. Another show. But you might want to lock down those usernames.
It's in California.
URLs real quick.
California is not a state anymore. It fell in the ocean.
It's a beautiful place. We have friends there. Okay, so
I love California.
California.
I was okay. All right, here we go. Tangent number 17 tonight. When I went to California, I wanted to absolutely hate California. All right, I was expecting some hippie to try to hand me a joint as I was getting off the airplane and burn something and say down with the man. That's what I was expecting. I get to California. Every time I've been out there,
yeah, I've had a great time every time I've gone to California.
Awesome.
I love California.
Absolutely freaking awesome. So I still want to hate everything about it,
Mhm.
but I actually absolutely do love going to California.
Yeah, every time I've been there, I've had a great
They
time.
call almonds Ammons out there. Ammons.
I don't think it's true.
All right. To hell with California. We can't have this.
In the Modesto area where they grow the ammons because they're Mennonites that have the big almond farms out there. They really do. They call them ammons.
All righty.
All right.
Well,
Okay.
well, I mean, yeah, that's all right.
Sure. I mean, I can't refute it because I don't know.
People call different things different places.
To our California
Yes.
audience, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Yeah, we're marketing towards you.
So number 5 was marketing, and look, you need to at least have a high level understanding of what marketing is, so you can do it for your company because your product's not going to sell itself, as we previously talked about. So number 6 is customer care, and I know
And
this
that
one
would be,
holds
in my book, number 1.
This holds a deep place in David's heart. Now, here's the thing. Customer care is not just customer service. Okay? It's not just... That's a big part of it. Not just customer service, because customer care is a much more rounded relationship with your customer.
Mm-hmm.
It involves a combination of customer service, interpersonal skills on your part, and you having the ability to recognize opportunity when it comes along. So...
Yeah.
That's not just to sell to your customer, but how to better serve your customer. So get it?
So, yes. And here's a pitfall or trap that I'm going to throw out there because I've been through this sales tactic and that sales tactic and this sales tactic and on and on and on. And all of them that don't, I guess, get it. They get it, but they're trying to shortcut that interpersonal part of it, that relationship part of it.
Right.
Shortcut it.
You can't do exact. Matt has it right on the nose. You cannot shortcut it. You cannot fake the idea to try to get a sell because you will be exposed. And if you get exposed for just trying to oh hey, how's the kids? I don't really give a shit. Here, buy this.
Well, people
from me.
can tell. People can always
You're
tell.
done.
Even subconsciously,
You're done.
people can tell.
Yeah.
When you say how are the kids and they say, well, little Sally has the leprosy, you got to stop and have a conversation about leprosy.
Right. She just
Yeah.
lost her big toe. I mean, have a little compassion, will
You
you?
don't go,
Yeah.
oh, no, that's awful. Well, anyway, let me show you my collection of
Yeah.
spinning tops.
Let me show you the zero cones.
Yeah.
Check out these French fries.
You're going to have a conversation about leprosy, and it's going to be a long conversation.
Right. Look, so customer care is a think of it as a relationship with your customer,
Yes.
which
And
in
that's
my
how you
opinion
should
really is
think
what
of it.
marketing is. So marketing is an extension of that, frankly.
Very much so.
One
So
thing-
I'm actually going to steal some information that I got the other day, and it was somewhere to the tune of 75% of the people are one of their main reasons or purchase or parts of buying is the buying experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really all kind of rolls in together through that customer care, that interpersonal skills that you get, or that interpersonal relationship that you get with them, and the marketing, which it's a nice round ball. I mean, you could put all of this into a circle and put a cat in the background, and the 8 steps of running a business, and just kind of play off of every one of them to any of the other ones.
That's true. You're totally right.
Of course,
And-
that's right.
But so when it comes to customer care, some companies try and hack it, right? They're a massive Fortune 500 company, and they'll say they'll use surprise and delight as a catchphrase they like to use, because occasionally they'll throw you a bone and give you 10% off peanuts this weekend, and they'll call it surprise and delight. No. You need to
that's a great way to
actually
piss somebody off.
right. You need to actually build a relationship with your customers and potential customers. You need to build that trust that they have with you. And when you give them something as an incentive to say, "Hey, come look at me," you need to actually give them something they're going to care about and they're going to come back and remember you for. And when they actually do buy your product or service, you need to give them such a good experience that not only do they come back again, they recommend their friends and family to come back to you too.
Exactly.
And not just for some silly friends and family discount or some sign-up bonus. They need to actually feel like you care. And if your product
1,000 true fans, raving fans.
And that's it. And here's the thing. You build a great rapport because you have great customer care within your company. You can charge more. You can have right. You could technically have an inferior product to your competitor. And you can charge more. But guess what? People will come back to you because they trust you and they like you and they know you and they know that you know them and like them. Now, I'm not recommending you have an inferior product or charge more, but these are the benefits that you have for having great customer care. More. I recommend you charge more too. I do, but don't have an inferior product.
So we showed a video. We showed a video of a kind of a social experiment a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, the Payless. It was like Payless shoes or something.
Yeah, the Payless shoes experiment they did out in Vegas. I think it was Vegas or something along those lines.
I think it was like London. It was like a big city. I think
it was. It was some big fancy shopping mecca. Okay, and they took Payless shoes, $30 Payless shoes, and put them at $500.
Right.
And people were talking about they could tell the quality and all of these things on the shoes. Now, the only thing about that whole experiment that pissed me off was they gave the money back to the people who were stupid enough to pay that much money for a pair of Evan shoes. So that's the only part that bothered me. But I loved every bit of it because we keep talking about, don't sell yourself short. Mm-hmm. Just because you're a small guy doesn't mean you should be doing that. So Big Bentley's Pet Supplies. So he's getting a little more active on Facebook and YouTube and things of that nature. Because I bought his product.
Stevie Evans, he's doing great. Yeah.
And I'm gave him some good testimonials and things of that nature because I used the product. I love this product. I think it's up there with Rob's Rescue. I think that they are probably almost identical products.
Right.
One of them has a little more force behind it as far as its marketing and drive. Mm-hmm. Another one is more, we're going to call it lax on it. So, but they're both excellent. I mean, just excellent products. You can't go wrong with either one of them, but one of them is definitely, as far as the buying experience goes, one of them is definitely easier to get your hands on.
Absolutely. 100%. So it's funny you mentioned that Payless shoe example where somebody built this like really high-end storefront in like downtown, whatever city it happened to be, London, New York. I gotta look it up. And it got me thinking though. I'm curious how many people thought, "Hey, there's a great business idea. You get an investor to put some money down, so you can get this giant storefront in this great big city. You fill it with $20 shoes and call them super high end." And I'm curious how many people actually did that as a business. I'll bet there are some people out there doing that right now.
Okay, guaranteed. So they named it. The name of the shop was Palessi.
There you go, Palessi instead of Payless.
So let's see.
Funny.
Yeah, which is hilarious because I bet everybody. It was named after the person Bruno Palessi. Shoe discounts. We felt like a good campaign. That actually, Sarah Couch, Payless's CMO. Mm-hmm. Sarah.
Was that her idea?
Job.
Was that her idea?
Yeah,
That's a great idea. That's funny.
Well, I'm gonna say that it was her team's.
Okay.
But for her to get behind it as a CMO,
that's awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. I love that.
I'm still trying to find a location for it. Okay, it doesn't really matter wherever it was. It just was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. It was a phenomenal thing. And the only downside was they gave the money back to the dumbasses, which I don't think they should. You should have put that and bought. You should have given every dime that you brought in as a bonus to the team that came up with that and executed it.
That's pretty funny. That would have been good. You're right. That's pretty funny. So anyway, customer care is number 6 on this list. And You're right. In your opinion, this should have been number one, and any one of these could be
Yeah.
number one, depending on how
And
you
you
actually.
could, and you know what? I'm going to apply this to football. A lot of people go, well, the quarterback's the most important player on the team. Well, not when the center has the ball at the line. He's not. Not when the ball's in the air and the
Right.
receiver's got to time to catch it, or the running back's busting through the line. None of that stuff. The quarterback's not the most important guy. So it shifts. So any one of these things could be number one, and 5 seconds later, any one of the other ones could be number one next.
Right, exactly. Any one of those random guys could be kicking or punting or grabbing a ball. And
any one of those, there's West Idea Sports. Any one of those guys could be hunting and gathering at any time.
Well, look, they're practically cavemen, so that's totally true. So we won't go there. But so number 6 was customer care. Number 7 is making connections. Now, what does making connections have to do with trying to sell a widget that you think is a pretty good idea that you can make some money on? Look,
okay,
making connections. Look, here's the thing: starting a business, running a business is really hard. It's way harder when you're an introvert. Okay, way harder.
I wouldn't know.
And you would never have any relation back to that at all. And here's the thing: making and maintaining connections is more than just emailing a mailing list once every couple of weeks. It's way more. Think about all the moving parts. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm heading down to a conference next week,
Mhm.
right? And I've got hundreds of people. Well, not hundreds. I got, maybe 100 people that are going to be going down from my territory, whatever the number is, my area that I cover up here.
Mhm.
And everybody else, every other person that's in my position across the country is going, I want to have this table and this people at it. And they got to me and they said, well, Dave, who do you want at your table? I was like, I don't want a table. I want my people scattered to the 4 winds of heaven.
Right. Yeah.
I want them out there. And they go, why? Or what table about you? I'm like, I don't care where I sit. I want them at all the tables so that I can walk around and say hi to them. And now I have an introduction to 9 other people at the table that I otherwise probably would not have gotten to meet.
Right.
So
Exactly.
no, I am going to be working that room.
Right.
Thank you very much. I'm only going to sit down when they tell me I have to.
Exactly. Look, when it comes to connections, think about no matter what your product or service is, you have suppliers who supply you with parts or chemicals or whatever. You have distributors. You have people who own shops. You have peers in your industry. You have your customers, you have your employees. You have any number of people in any aspect that you could possibly deal with. You need to make and maintain those connections. That's a really big part of any business. And David, you're right. You're absolutely right. Having people out there actually actively making connections is so much more valuable than sitting at a table waiting for people to come to you. Because guess what? Why would somebody come to you when you can actively go up to them first?
Yes, and when you get somebody that's at a specific table and they know everybody at the table, they're going to pick the person they kind of have the most contact with or the most connection with, and that's going to be their conversation. That's going to be kind of the end of it. But I'm throwing every one of these people, they don't know this, but I'm throwing every one of these people into a table. They don't know anybody.
Right.
So they're going to be the introduction to everybody else because everybody else is going to try to sit in groups.
Mhm.
And I'm like, no. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of my people sitting together. I want them all scattered. That's it.
And that happens all the time, especially at conferences. You'll see people who already know each other or coworkers just kind of hanging out and huddling together because they don't want to go out and be that extrovert. And look, I'll admit, I'm a huge introvert. It's hard for me to go out and make these connections and do things like that.
Sometimes I just hang back in the corner. I don't like to put my voice forward. I just kind of just settle in and just
that's
watch.
totally you. That's totally you. That makes perfect.
Being insensitive to West's pain.
Come on, man.
I was trying to connect. Damn it.
It's disingenuous. I don't believe it.
It was absolutely disingenuous because I absolutely am not like that at all. So I'm telling you, at one point I'm going to be up on a stage, right? And there's going to be a microphone
in
and
cuffs
a captive
and
audience.
probably stocks in front of you. I get it. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So no, there's going to be a microphone and a captive audience. And if they turn their back for 5 seconds, I'm going to own that room.
That's funny.
Look, that's the level of, I will talk and try to make a connection with everyone.
Look, I think you and I need to do a speaking tour. I'm not joking.
I love it.
We could do a whole presentation just on being outside versus inside the box. We could do a 3-hour show just on that.
I need more alcohol for us to talk about that again.
True. All right.
Oh my God.
So number 7 was making connections, and it's a
Making
lot more
connections.
important than you think it is. It's a lot more
It
than just
is.
emailing your mailing list once every couple
Yes.
weeks.
And you have a bullet point on here. I really liked it about maintaining that connection as well.
Right, and that's it. You need to maintain the connection. It's a relationship. It goes back to what we were talking about, customer care and marketing. See how all these things kind of work together? They kind of weave together. Maintaining those connections is maintaining a relationship.
I did a very simple kind of thing my last year as master of our lodge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was about shaking hands.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's a thing that I've noticed, and I've seen other people point it out as well, is when you get a person and you see this, you shake hands to shake that hand so that you can get to a next person. Mm-hmm. And it takes a lot of self-control. What is it? I don't know if it'll fit in your efficiencies box there or not, but it takes a lot of self-control, a lot of thought to not be, hey, I really want to be over here. That is where I want to be, but I'm in front of this person, and to actually be here, as opposed to I have to get through this guy here so I can get over to where I want to be. And it really takes time. So, when you're making that connection, just saying hi, blah, 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 to maintain that connection, even just, and I'm not talking about even 6 months from now, I'm talking about right then and in the moment. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's a lot more challenging than what you think. Oh yeah, especially when you're playing on a bigger stage. Actually, no, I'm gonna take that back. Especially when you're playing on a smaller stage, because it's that person going that you may never see again is over there. Right. But you still need to maintain connection with your core right here.
Right. And the thing is, these relationships, and that's what we'll call them, you can't fake it, because people, even in the back, even subconsciously, they know when you're faking it. They know when you don't really want to be there, or you're being disingenuous, David, or something along those lines. They know. So you need to actually genuinely build that customer care, build that trust, build that relationship through your customer care, through your connections, and with customers when you have a large growing customer base, through your marketing as well. That's part of that customer care relationship.
Yep.
So that was number 7. Number 8. Go ahead.
Number eight, I think, is probably...
It's the most exciting for me.
It is. It really... You have to be a certain level of nerd in order to look at data analysis as like, oh boy. Because if you're doing it right, and let me rephrase that. It doesn't mean you have to be this level nerd. If you're doing it right, that's exciting.
Look.
If you're doing it right, that's exciting, because your avatar lives in the data.
Right. Yeah, right. So data analysis is number 8, and it's on this list. It's not exciting. It's not going to be the fun part of most people's jobs, but you desperately need it. And it goes far beyond just vanity metrics. Your Facebook. It goes far beyond your views and your likes and your clicks. You need to go in and look at your sales metrics, your conversion rates. You need to see what if you have a special or a sale or a coupon code, you need to look at what was successful, what was less successful. Take those results, refine them, test again. So everything that I do, I'm a huge data nerd. I love it. So everything that I do is a series of test and learn opportunities. My team is constantly doing and testing new things. We take those results, we look at what worked, we look at what didn't work, we make adjustments, and we test again. And guess what? Over time, you will do remarkably well. And that is what you need to do. And we won't go into the whole rigmarole about how to actually check your data, check your analytics. We did a little bit in the past. We need to do another show on it. But you can Google this stuff. Google how to look at email results. Google look at how to look at sales metrics.
Actually,
and you're going to find a million articles
starting out
on anything.
If you're starting out, if you're small to mid-size, and you'll see there are pricing buckets, pricing structures for MailChimp. As far as looking at metrics, MailChimp is probably one of the easiest ones. I'm not a guy. I mean, I love
MailChimp's free account is amazing. Yeah.
I mean, because we used a free account for other opportunities, and we're probably be setting up one here soon for Remarket Media might be setting up one here.
Somebody in that company might be looking at it.
Somebody in that company may be looking into it.
But
Hint, 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 wink, wink.
Right. So you don't need to go when it comes to data analytics. You don't need to even pay money for it. There's a lot of really, really good free options. If you want to get super advanced, look, Google Analytics is some of the most advanced analytics platform. It is one of the most advanced analytics platforms you could possibly get.
Yeah,
and the majority of it is free.
Yeah.
You can
and we've had a number of videos, we've had a number of shows where we have actually talked about some of the products that you can get completely free.
Right. Absolutely. Everything that we're talking about here is completely free. That's the great thing about this. And look, all it takes, the only thing that it takes, the only thing that it really requires is a little bit of your time and a little bit of your dedication. But if you have a product or service that you really love, that you're passionate about, all this stuff should be second nature to you.
We've had that show as well.
Yeah, that's true. We have.
About the equilibrium, about money versus time. If you're not willing to invest the time, then you need to be willing to invest the money. If you don't have the money to invest, then you need to make sure that you make the time to invest. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you quit your job day one. That means instead of going to bed at 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night, maybe you're going to bed at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're getting up and doing it. Does it suck? Yeah. But if that's what you want and that's what you're driving for is the success of your business, that seems like a small price to pay to me.
Right. And that's it. It's a balancing act between time and money. And frankly, once you have more of one, then you'll have less of the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So well, depending on how you look at it, but it's a sliding scale, really.
Yeah. We did a show also that talked about there was the business posters or something like that you were popping up on the screen and we were looking at. It was talking about business owners and this much time and this much money and all these things they were going across. And while we didn't necessarily agree with it, we didn't disagree with all of it. There was some truth to it, but if you're a business owner or managing and running an owner of a business that's being managed well, yes, the end result may be you may be collecting the profits of that business, but nobody wants to talk about the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into creating and building that business.
Right, and that's it. And the biggest part of being successful in anything, your personal life, interpersonal relationships, a business, school, is making it look easy. The thing is, those people who make it look easy, there's a lot behind the scenes that you'll never see or know about. So much
and you
more.
Shouldn't. Yeah.
There's that meme about the with the iceberg. You only see the tip of the iceberg. You don't see all the stuff underneath holding it up.
Yeah. Otherwise, the Titanic would have made it, and the Canadians wouldn't have, such a lovely.
Right. Leonardo DiCaprio wouldn't have died. Kate Winslet never would have turned into that old lady with the diamond that she threw into the water. That was dumb.
Dumbass.
So and then look, the whole thing would have turned out differently. Billy Zane, he may have ended up being in a love triangle with those two. It would have been weird. But a very different ending.
I think he would have left Rose for Leonardo DiCaprio. I think that's what would happen.
I don't know. I could see those two hooking up.
Yeah. Until he got to until he got to 23 years old.
That's true. Syphilis was rampant at the time.
Well, so that took a sideways turn.
So really, the iceberg did him all a favor, I think. Okay. The show gets weird towards the end, is what we're trying to say.
It does. Anyway, so we were talking about this, and this is one of the last things we were talking about. Actually, we brought it up early in the show. Was when I was laughing about all of West and all of his bullet points was, learning more about your client. And how do you learn, West? How do you learn more about your client?
Well, we may have done a whole show just on this. Building a customer avatar is it.
Yes.
So it comes down to
that learns about your avatar, but now we're trying to learn about your client. So sometimes you miss the mark with your avatar. Sometimes who you think you're selling to, you may be marketing to this metric over here, but all of a sudden this adjacent is just blowing up next to you. Well, that means the message that you thought was resonating with this demographic, geographic, psychographic is not as much. It's actually resonating over here. So now you need to talk to them and find the desires and the needs of your new metric. So
right. So your ideal client should ideally though your client should fit your avatar. That's not always the case.
It should,
but that's not always the case. And here's the thing. looking at your metrics, going back to the data analytics, you can make adjustments to your customer avatar to fit who your actual clientele is versus your ideal clientele.
That's adaptability. I would use the word adaptability.
And adaptability. Which one was adaptability? That was number one. See how these all fit together?
Yeah, I was trying to tie it back in for us.
It's all circular. It's all circular. So the thing is, when you're learning more about your customer, you need to learn about their needs and desires. You need to learn about how they talk, what they do for a living, their tone of voice that they use when they communicate, know where they live. All these little details will feed into your knowledge about them and how that helps you as a business owner. It helps you communicate to them more. It helps you build that relationship through those communications. And you can make refinements to how you deal with them through your analytics and adapting to the results that come back. You see how these all work together?
Yeah. And that's how it should work. Again, get the picture of the cat, put this in a circle around it.
Yeah, right there.
One cat poster to rule them all.
Exactly.
So
that's just where I like
here
to
we go. Stevie Evans. Is he on here?
Stevie? He's not on the show.
He's not watching.
He's not on here.
I got to ping him because I have an idea. I have an idea, a marketing campaign for him.
About
because
a cat?
I was reading no. Can I just ping him here at Stevie? Oh, whoa. That's the state of Ohio business filings there.
Yeah.
Shift at. There we go. Stevie.
So he, assuming he can't come on, what's your business idea for Stevie?
Okay, so not a business idea. So here's the marketing plan. So you remember the show? Oh wait, you got a pipe. I got to put a pipe down too. You remember the part of the show in Ricky Bobby where they're at the dinner table saying a prayer? And they're like, I like to imagine the baby Jesus is blah, 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 and on and on and on.
Okay.
So bioenzymatic formula, you could literally put somebody dressed as Ricky Bobby and I don't remember what the other guy's name is, Cal Norton Jr. In there and have them talk about what they imagine that biomatic enzymes are. Like, I like to think of biomatic enzymes as like little super ninjas in there, just cutting up the freaking dirt and grime and just throwing it right out of the, or, I like to think about biomatic enzymes as bouncers at a club, man. People start getting in there. They make
Is that a scene from Talladega Nights?
Yes.
Is that a scene from that movie?
Yes. So I think we got a commercial ready for you. It is gold. It is guaranteed. It is absolutely creative. The people that you're going to be talking to, it's people like funny. Okay, especially these days, people like funny. And who doesn't like Ricky Bobby and Cal Naughton Jr.? They're not the people who don't like them. You don't want them as customers. They're assholes.
It's true.
So we've got it. We've got one ready for you. So literally, I'm sitting here reading his label about bioenzymatic formulas and stuff, and I'm like, what can I do with this? And I just was thinking that up. I'm like, you know what? That would actually work. That would sell.
That'd be a funny commercial.
It would be awesome. And, we've talked on a couple other things. So if you want, Stevie, if you want that, reach out to us. We've got a marketing agency standing by, ready to help you.
It's true. We do. All right. So, but in general, know who your customer is, know how to talk to them, and build that relationship, and be willing to make adjustments to your customer and how you speak to them based on the analytics. And those all tie into the 8 skills every business owner must learn. So it sounds intimidating. It sounds like there's a lot, but really, a lot of this should become second nature, regardless of what your business, product, or service is.
There's a book. I think it's Carnegie, Making Friends and Influencing People.
That Dale Carnegie, he had it going on. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Read that book. Read that book, and then come back here and look at these. Okay? These were not taken from the book. Okay? Just so you guys know, these were not taken from the book. But if you read the book and then you try to, what's the right word? Live these 8 things, you will be successful.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
You will be successful. You will. If you read
Yeah,
that
that
book,
sounds reductive, but it's absolutely true.
yeah. If you read that book, and then that's going to give you a lot more foundation, because this show is not intended to go into the deep dive and all that. It's really not. In fact, it's the exact opposite. We said at the outset we didn't want to absolutely bore the shit out of people. We wanted to be entertaining. We wanted to do things. We want to give you good and quality information, and we want to give you other resources that you can use. That was kind of our thing at the outset.
Mm-hmm.
It's no less true today than it was then. But if you put those two things together, you're almost, I mean, all but guaranteed success. Now, you still have to do the work. You still have to do the work.
Right, exactly.
And, you know what? I'm going to put that as number 9.
It's number 9. You
And
do the work.
Actually, no, I'm going back to number 1, because it was literally number 1 on episode 1, on episode 2, and probably a dozen or more episodes since then. When was the best time to plant a tree?
30 years ago.
When was the second best time to plant a tree?
Right now. And it's totally true.
Yes. You have to do the work. There's no such thing as passive income. Go do it.
Oh, I hate that phrase. I hate that phrase. Anybody who tries to sell you passive income online, run.
Yeah.
Run for the hills,
they're
man.
scamming you.
Yes.
They're scamming you. There's a problem with your computer, and you need to go to this log me in thing. And yeah, it's a scam. It literally is a scam.
They're trying to sell most of the people who do it are trying to sell you on buying ClickBanks. And ClickBank, they're getting a commission off ClickBank. It's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Yes. It's been identified as such. There's no such thing. Move on with your life.
Affiliate marketing doesn't work.
Yeah.
You'll do way more work than you've ever done in your 9-to-5 job for way less money.
Yes. So can you make money at it? Yes. There's no such thing as a passive. I've seen a guy. This will be my last interruption of the night until my next one. But I've seen a guy. I watched a YouTube video. He has this crate where the volume has to be up on. He's got like 8 or 9 tablets, or maybe 10 tablets inside of this crate with foam and everything in it, so that when he closes it up, they can stay playing, but he can't hear them, because he's like, well, you just got to run these things and run this, and it's a pay the here, this right here, mine Bitcoin and all these things. And I'm sitting there going,
what?
What did you make last week? 35 cents?
Right.
And you know what? To be honest, I don't think he made 35 cents last week. He made more money off of the video that he posted.
Right.
Where 700,000 people watched it.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yes.
You look at all these influencers on social media who are selling you these get rich quick schemes or these passive income tactics.
Yeah.
Guess what? If it were so profitable, they wouldn't be telling you about it. They'd be hiring people underneath them to do it for them.
All right. Well,
in all these areas.
Stevie Evans liked the comment, so he had to get in here soon.
Oh, Stevie.
He had to get in.
Stevie, you're missing your opportunity. This is your golden opportunity, Stevie. You're missing out.
Yeah, Stevie. I gave you a freaking commercial, man. I'll be Cal Naughton Jr. I don't think I'm upper echelon. I don't think I'm quite Ricky Bobby yet.
I got to work on my what's his face impressions.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't remember his name. That guy, the actor.
Yeah, me neither. Elf.
Elf. He did Elf. I got to work on my Elf impressions.
Yeah, Elf impression. I mean, I'm sure he's got a name, but
is it Will Ferrell?
Stevie says I was doing the dishes.
He was doing dishes. Stevie, you're doing dishes. Did you hear not watching our show? We're hurt, Stevie.
Did you? Okay. Now I have to wait. So now I'm making the comment. So now I've got to wait.
He wants to know the idea, David.
What was the idea? Okay. So Stevie, I got a commercial idea for you. Okay, everybody, you got to pretend like this is the first time you're hearing it.
Everybody out there watching and listening, pretend you haven't heard this before.
I mean, we got like 17.2 million viewers right now. So
we're all over the world.
Yeah, to the world. So I got an idea. Now, you're going to have to be interactive here. So have you seen the movie Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby?
Stevie lives in Kentucky. Of course he's seen Talladega Nights.
That is so absolutely accurate. So the scene where they're at the dinner table and they're talking about praying to sweet baby Jesus. Oh, a little 8-pound, 2-ounce baby Jesus. Or I like to think of Jesus as a cool, that scene right there. All right. So he says yes. So here's what we want to do. I had your bottle out the other day and I'm looking at it and I'm looking, it's a bioenzymatic formula. And I'm like, what the hell is bioenzymatic? So immediately, and I don't know why, but immediately I'm like, okay, I got a scene. So we reenact the scene from Ricky Bobby, from Talladega Nights, and we have and you have Ricky Bobby's there going, I like to think of bioenzymatics as like little ninjas just in there hunting out the dirt and just chopping it up and throwing it out. And then you get the Cal Norton Jr. character over there going, I like to think of bioenzymatics as, like bouncers for a nightclub. When somebody goes in and making a mess, they just throw them right on out of there. That kind of interaction. I think it's gold. Just gold.
I think Stevie likes it.
Oh, he's loving it. He's loving it. Yes. It's gold, man. There's just absolutely no way to go wrong with this. So, and then we can have little, because they wear the NASCAR jackets with all the badges and stuff on it. We have Underdog Journey, little Big Bentley's Pet Supply, little Remarket Media on them. I mean, we could do this. Little
we
Mountain Dew. Yeah.
Stevie, let's make this happen.
It would be absolutely hilarious. I mean, and that's just something you don't have to put it out there on media or on the standard terrestrial media. That's literally a YouTube commercial built and ready to go.
Oh yeah, we can make you a YouTube audience. We can do some digital marketing with this. We can make it happen.
Yeah, it would be just freaking gold. Stevie says, let's do it.
All right, Stevie, we'll talk. We'll be in touch, man.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Our people will call your people.
Yeah.
The people will talk.
Have your people call our people. Wait,
or our people will call your people. Some people are going to call some people, and we'll decide who those people are later. All right. Anyway,
I'll text you.
Exactly.
Hey,
he started a YouTube channel. Stevie, we got to have you on as a guest to find out what you've been doing lately, because your product and business has been doing really well.
West, you're going to need a co-host next week.
Oh, that's true. That's a fair point. Stevie, you want to come on next week and talk about your business? You don't have to answer right now. I know it's short notice, but we'll talk.
Yeah, and the big thing is you can do it without me interrupting you. Actually, I might call in just to mess with you. I
actually believe that you would do that. I have a hard time believing you wouldn't do that.
I've got meetings. It's gonna be miserable. Anyway, I think that we're at 8:43. Gee, many crickets.
We've been going a while.
It's 8:43. We've been going on for about an hour and 43 minutes now. So I think it's about time to call. It's that time of night, ladies and gentlemen. We get the little beep screen that's got the 1, 2, 3, 4 in the gray. Well, is Matt alive back there?
Are you guys still talking?
Yep, he's alive.
Yeah.
I latched onto some Facebook videos. And
he's
it all went downhill from there.
He's back there watching. Never watch Facebook videos. It's all clickbait. It's all clickbait.
I love Facebook videos.
Facebook
God,
videos
it is a guilty pleasure.
It's a cesspool of
absolutely
horribleness.
Don't mess
it absolutely is. And I love just scrolling through it.
I can't handle it.
Scrolling through it. Gotta look for the OnlyFans pages.
And with that, I've been West. This guy's been Matt Harmon. This guy's been David Leffingwell. This guy down here in the comments somewhere has been Stevie Evans. And we will talk to you soon.
Have a good night.
was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.